what we've bought is a netbook and a projector. Now, some of you may wonder what's a netbook. Netbook is a very low power kind of notebook, and this thing is very light. It weighs maybe about 2.5 pounds. And people, you'll go into Starbucks and see people have these all the time. They're very portable. They are low powered, so they're not as fast as what you might have at home, but really for our purposes, they run PowerPoint very well. And this actually is one of the top of the line netbooks there are. It has a dual core processor and runs 1.6 gigahertz. Froze up. And it's got a big hard drive, and plus it'll take all the flash media you can throw at it, except for Paul Ferguson. Now, Paul decided he was going to come today with the agenda and put it up on the screen, and what he came with was his USB thumb drive that came from work, and it was encrypted and with his work stuff, this point-sec thing that cannot be encrypted by outside means, so he had to bring his laptop as well. So I would recommend, if you guys are coming with materials for the speech, please don't bring something that came from work, because enterprise thumb drives typically will not work in a home type machine.
Or just remember the password. That was my problem that I created.
Right, exactly. So what this netbook has a pretty big screen for a netbook. It's also got a full-size keyboard if anybody needs to update any kind of speech before a meeting or during the break. You feel free to do it, and it does respond very well. It's got good graphics, and I'll show you a little bit of it on the screen. This projector actually uses a technology that is the same technology that you see in the digital movie theaters, such as like if you go see an animation with the children. It's called DLP, and what DLP is, it stands for digital laser projection, and what it has, I don't think we really need to turn off the lights.
It's not real good. I think it's going to be, not turn them off, there's a slide feature.
In any case, I can turn up the brightness a little bit. And so this projector actually has a remote input on the front and on the back, and what it does is it'll communicate some of the remote inputs directly to the computer, and some of them for itself, such as the brightness that I'm controlling now. And so this is sort of a sampling of the graphics that it can do for your presentations. And you can flip to your sides. Oh, that's Howard's computer there. Anyway, speaking of which, that computer you saw in the picture is called a UNIVAC, and I said that this thing is a little low powered. It's actually probably about 100 times as powerful as those old UNIVAC computers that used to run the Census Bureau. And I mean, this thing's tiny, probably weighs 2 pounds. The UNIVAC probably weighs about several thousand pounds if you take a look at the picture. In any case, I was talking about the technology of the projector, and this projector is also 1024 by 768. I don't know if you all are familiar with the resolution, but it's pretty much, it's called SVGA, and a lot of the projectors on the market, especially in this size, are 800 by 600, and they don't have nearly the same resolution. This one actually can show HD movies if you were so inclined. If you wanted to videotape something, such as Alan did a few weeks back when he did his presentation of his man cave, that would do very well in this type of projector, and might even be a sharper picture than what he had with this tiny little projector that he brought in. So I guess what we'd like you to do is, when you come in with a presentation, is try to bring media, and I have samples of what the media looks like. This is called an SD card, and it's about the size of a postage stamp. If you have a laptop, you can use these guys and put them in your laptop and copy your presentation or your photos onto them, and you could actually give your presentation directly from the SD card. You don't even have to copy anything into the computer. If you have a regular desktop at home, you'll want to have like a thumb drive, and this actually isn't a thumb drive. What this is it's an adapter that goes into the USB port, and it'll take a micro SD card, which is the same kind of card they usually put in cell phones these days. So what you could do is you could transfer, you could get one of the SD card things, and you could use the same card in your cell phone as in your computer, and you could transfer them, and they have a lot of storage these days for for transferring. And I guess if anyone has any questions, you can go ahead and ask, or you can ask after the meeting if you're so inclined. But if anyone has any, other than that,
Will the remote move the slides forward?
yes, and I can show you. Oops, I pressed the wrong button.
So probably people need to practice a little bit
Yeah. Not
ahead
me.
of time.
Not me. And actually, we'll move the mouse also on the computer.
Okay.
Like that. It has mouse buttons on there.
So-
Doesn't move the mouse very fast, as you can see. But if you don't want to really leave from the presentation, you can use this and control the mouse. It's also got a laser pointer, so if you're giving some kind of business or technical presentation, you can point at stuff on the screen so people can see what you're illustrating.
So this has got PowerPoint on installed.
Yes, this has the full Microsoft Office suite. It's not the licensed one that we're purchasing. It's actually the home and office one that came pre-installed with this. It's got a 60-day trial, and it will expire September 30th. And we already have authorization to purchase it. I just haven't purchased it yet. And also, we have authorization to purchase the screen, which I haven't purchased yet either. And I did call Tom, or I wrote him an email before the meeting to make sure that we would have a screen if this one wasn't available.
Right.
Yes, Aaron?
Okay.
And do we have to worry about compatibility if we might own an older or newer version of PowerPoint than what's installed on here?
This is 2003, and it will open all, or 2007, and it will open all older versions as well as 2007 PowerPoint presentations. The one we're going to purchase is actually going to be 2010, which should also be 100% backward compatible.
Okay, awesome.
Any other questions?
Is this a better way to go as far as PowerPoints versus just a regular computer?
Well, it's not a PowerPoint, it's actually a computer, and it has PowerPoint software installed on it. So typically people will create presentations with PowerPoint. What I did was I just had a bunch of picture files from the sample media on the computer and just did a slideshow directly from that folder. And that's typically what I do. I'm very uncomfortable using PowerPoint. I'm probably going to have to sign up for Tom's class.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, like there it is, okay. So that's the laptop,
The laptop's on the right. It's called a netbook.
that's the projector,
Yes.
and you would have a
You'd come in with your media.
thumb drive
Well,
report?
They call it thumb drive. It's sort of the shape of a
That would go
thumb.
in the
Yeah, one of those.
the laptop.
And
Yeah,
you
like
slide
one
it
of
to the
these.
side, yes.
Yeah, I got one.
Thank you very much.
All right.